Why have our leaders turned our society to a zoo and one of Anubis baboon in the quagmire and comatose of a collapsed society? The zoo attendant navigated the tourists on safari retrogressions. The excursion to see wild beasts crept in with sedate discretions to segment our society to be at par with such animalistic dimensions. We are given that this same low sapien can rapport with herd, so we anticipated to see the Anubis baboon. The virtue of tongues he was said to have had during the run-off to elections. The bulldozer engrossed us in the senile civility to talk to beasts of burden. How are we to talk to animals? The animals that steal our sleeping girls. And it's a zoo when a mother is awoken by a phone call of the tale that her little girl has been taken by bandits, never to be seen again. We must have talked to the insane propaganda of this Anubis baboon. And the moment the eye made contact with the seemed equal virtues of humanity, the baboon said, "Please, can I make you a cup of tea?" And the tourists seemed amazed because the baboon had a set of tea cutlery. There was also to take heed from the perpetration of serious unseen illegalities, still unknown as we're opted to be, that they showered praise as the Anubis baboon made them tea. He then said to them, "Please come into my cage and have tea with me." The tourists were overjoyed at their own doom. That a monkey could make tea was nothing strange to them. But it was everything strange to me in the appeal of such inhumanity. And in they trooped to have tea with the baboon of high scientific-oriented variables. To hear a speech of an animal in the first place is an oblique detachment of civilization, for which animal can talk to Balak without divinity in intervention. And now in the cage with the baboon, the people have no more human rights, and soon hear the ramble of jungle justice. As the baboon closed the cage, laid down the corpse and started cannibalizing their humanity. And soon by the oppression, he tore all their flesh, and had stayed far from the existence of this discriminating methodology of oppression. How we have lost our civil rights to baboons. Our society daily is losing essence of belonging. And the tourist assistant, who was their pilot and had no advice to give them before their ruin, was himself in consortium with the Anubis baboon. For this is their scheme of ecological degradation, to waste us by poverty and hunger, to be in the creeks of an insurgent or a bandit or a kidnapper, to give unto them powers that only commemorate a banter of a blood festival. And this is of their choosing, to neglect the people and allow them be destroyed by insecurity and a fearful climate of subjection. A long quiet is kept until the brigand bones soon are belched, and their shattered omens in decrees of a lost prism, its diffractive and refractive capacities have intertwined with eternal. And the sickly nation resides in the intensive care unit. Many are captives of this cruel and suppressive system, become suppressors who at first were oppressed in this brutish resolve to commune with the lowly baboons, to hear that it says, "Move forward my ultimate autocracy," where there is no civil rights or clear justice, but only the persistence of lies, where there are no jobs or employment for the youths in this zoo. This poem reminds me of Fela Aníkúlápó Kuti, because I was into what Aisha was saying, and Fela was nominated to come into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but when we listen to many of the things he said at the point, we're living almost like in a zoo. How can we have some of our girls being taken and nobody's giving any account for them? This is so wrong, and this needs to be changed. That's why the title of the piece today was Living in a Vivarium. A vivarium means a zoo. I pray Nigeria is not a vivarium or a zoo. Thanks for watching Your Poetic Interlude. I hope you've enjoyed Your Poetic Interlude. I just want to shout out to my beautiful producer with me, Osasu Binedian, and my lovely producer, Andy Madaki. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. We have more coming up on the weekend show. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
North to South Africa. East to West Africa. TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.